Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello and welcome. My name is Andy. I'm the managing consultant for Cybervenger. Today we're going to do another in our series of deep dives into the 110 controls of the NIST 800-171 standard. This particular standard is 3.3.9 and it is the last standard in the audit and accountability family of controls. They group all the controls together in families. There's 14 of such groups to make it a little easier to manage, and they all have similar content. In this particular case, I almost feel like I want to do a separate video that just gives you a high level of this entire family together. They're all very similar and related. In fact, going through them, they almost feel kind of redundant, but they're not. Each control does bring up specific points and things that you need to watch and focus on. So this particular control, if we look down here, it is our limit management of audit logging functionality to a subset of privileged users. So that's not so hard to understand, right? Auditing is a sensitive thing. You're gathering all kinds of information about how your system's working. You might even have a little bit of CUI leaking in there, depending. You don't want general users to have access to that. In fact, you should have a specific group of people who can access this and only them, not even just all the IT department. Ideally, you'd have like a security team that just does auditing and reviewing as a quality control kind of thing. It's like separations of duties, that particular principle. Now, we've talked about 9 different of these controls in this particular family, and a lot of them really do kind of feel restated, rehashed. So it can be tempting to gloss over them. I do think it's important to take time to think about each requirement. It's really almost sort of like one big requirement with a lot of details and a lot of nuance to it. That's kind of the way I think of it. That's how this particular family looks to me. But yeah, and the concept of protecting your logs from non-admin users should be fairly obvious. The previous control went into detail about saying how we have to protect it from the bad guys, right? Well, the most common threat, or well, I don't know, common, but most dangerous threat any organization can face is from insider threats. If you have your own team, your own IT people, your own folks that go rogue for whatever reason, they're far more dangerous than an outsider who has no information at all. That's kind of the point of logging, right? Is you want to gain information to be able to paint a picture as to what's going on. The bad guys want to do the exact same thing. They're trying to paint a picture. They don't have a lot to go on. But an insider already has the picture. Maybe they're missing a few puzzle pieces. So if an insider can get more information, that makes them even more dangerous. And having that starter bit of information, that gives them a leg up. That kind of makes them a threat if they choose to be malicious actors. So you want to not give out logging information just to anybody. Certainly not end users. They have no business with that. Especially in particular, I could see scenarios where logging information might grab CUI. Let's say you've got a file name about a particular federal contract, and someone sticks a federal contract ID in the file name, and this log just happens to gather the fact that this file name's permissions got changed. Well, now you get the file name showing up in a log, and that file name has a federal contract information on it. That federal contract is CUI. Anything about the federal contract is CUI, technically. So you can see how stuff could leak into the logs. You really want to treat the log data itself kind of as CUI, and therefore you don't want anybody having access to it that doesn't need access. So that's separation of duties, that is least privilege principle, all the standard security kind of principles that we talk about, and anything in cybersecurity. The NIST controls are talking about here as well. And this is the last in the control. We've seen a lot of deep diving. Speaking of our deep dives, NIST really deep dove into the nuance of auditing and logging and reviewing and reporting because it's really important. This is the backbone of any kind of cybersecurity program that you're going to come up with. You need to be able to understand what's happening in your environment. You need to be able to have good visibility. There's no TV screen that you can watch to see what's going on. And a lot of times you're looking at these audit logs and it's just a big jumbled mess, and trying to pick through them one at a time is very difficult. So the other standards talked about making that more visible, and this course talks about making sure that not everybody has access to that, because once you have that painted picture, that can give away, that's your playbook. I mean, so to use a sports analogy here, you don't want the other side to see that. So sometimes you don't even want your own team members to see that. But that's what this particular control is. That's been our whole family of controls. The last one here. We're going to move on to configuration management next. We'll talk about that in the next couple of videos. And that's, I think, it for this one. Thank you very much for following along, and hopefully see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.